What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is unlike the other two videos. So today's video, we're going to be looking at Mankind Many Faces of Mick Foley. The reason for this is I am looking for fun projects that I already have a 6-star or 6-star bronze that I can take to 6-star silver that don't really see the amount of love and affection that they used to have. Many Faces of Mick Foley has been one of my favorite mutants for a while now. I haven't been able to use him to the fullest extent of his ability, strictly because every time I get the pieces for him to be better, they always find their way on somebody else. So his belt hasn't really been worked. I have all the metal slots unlocked, but I don't have the plate slot unlocked. That's kind of a reason for doing this video, is I want to know if I am actually going to be able to use Mick Foley down the line for something, for any mutant requirements. I already have Mutant Seth for most of those, but I do kind of need a little bit of diversity with my classes. So I wanted to see what he does with just 22% on the purple in regards to, or on blue, in regards to the moveset I plan on using for him, which is Bulldog, Groin Kick, Sweet Chin Music. The Bulldog, we're going to do 152,000 damage and make 5x1 area into Snowfall gems. Those will modify all gems below it into blue gems when broken by me. And then Groin Kick is going to deal 72,000 damage and increase your blue gem damage by 100% for one turn. This is the sole reason why I want to run this build, as 100% at 6-star silver is going to increase it quite drastically. So if we have, say, Double Fury 2 on him, so we're looking at 80% increase there. With a maxed out percentile being 35%, we're looking at 115% in total for just those alone. When you increase the Groin Kick, or hit the Groin Kick, you're looking at 200% increase. Strikers are notorious for having the strongest hitting gems and the weakest health. So the sooner I can get all of this off, the better. And that's the reason why I have slapped on Xavier and tricked Dom for this. Dom is not going to play a big role at 6-star bronze, but at 6-star silver, he does do quite a bit of damage. That 40% increase on the blue should offer up a good cushion. With Sweet Chin Music, we're going to make 5 Snowfall gems into purple gems. So the way these are set up is Bulldog and Sweet Chin Music are 6 cost. Groin Kick is a 4 cost. So we have Xavier here for 4 and Dom here for 2 on the blue, right? Blue, yes. And with that, we're going to combine it with Santa Hogan. I wish Santa Hogan was a little bit higher on the gem damage portion, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. They didn't give us nearly enough Santa tokens to make it viable in the month of Christmas. The Christmas month, we didn't get Santa tokens at all. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Either way, moving on. Then we have our Powerhouse Sheamus here for 12k damage. I understand completely that a lot of people generally tend to go for the Tree of Woe into the Pile Driver into the mutated double arm DDT. The strength gems are 81,000. That's not great. It's just kind of in between. You're looking at 10 gems in total. If you increase it with others, yes, it's going to be a little bit better. You're looking at over 100,000, so you're looking at about 1 million a shot, which does stack and it does become very good. If you have the Many Faces of Foley plate, you can throw that on him. That'll give you a better chance to have more power gems, so on and so forth. Mankind has done very... Son of a nutcracker, that was crazy. I didn't realize I was on the edge there. Sorry about that, technical difficulty. Mankind has been notorious in power gem boss battles for being well worth it, especially if he has the plate on him. I don't want to run that. I think 7 cost is a little much, and really, if this was a 5 or 6 cost, 6 cost would be a lot better. 1 MP less would make it a little bit more viable. Just my perspective. So we're just going to focus on this. Like I said, on our belt, we only have the 20%. So we're going to go in against Trick Sammy, which I thought I was already there, but clearly I was not. We're just going to go in against Trick Sammy. See what this looks like. If we lose to... The way I'm looking at this is if we lose to Trick Sammy, then the card's not worth it. Really, that's what it comes down to. Trick Sammy's MP is way too high. His moves don't hit nearly as hard, and his leech gems are meh at best. So let's just see what comes of it, shall we? I think we shall. We'll go here with that because we got our 3 across there. We'll increase our blue gem damage by kicking him in the balls. And then we'll just let the sparks fly on where it's going to go. If it hits above 1 million, I'll be happy. 2 million. So that is telling me outright this is 4 million at best. Roughly 4 million at best. At 6-star bronze with the, what you want to call it. Double Fury 2. That's what we're looking at. With a better Cascade, yep, we're still looking good on numbers. With a better Cascade, I think it'd be a lot better. It's the lack of medals on the belt right now that are playing dividends. But I think we're still going to be okay. Like I said, strikers are notorious for having the lowest health, but the hardest hitting gems. So we're looking at a little or just under 9 mil for health, which isn't that big of an issue. But we also saw that Sammy is above 12. So levels play a role. Everything plays a role in this. But we're looking pretty solid right now. He is definitely going to heal up. I'm wondering if it is just, in fact, the belt that we're having problems with. When we get done here, I'll see if I have other Fury belt or Fury medals just to get it kind of up there a little bit. And then we'll run it again. So we're probably going to be looking at about 3 mil for each one of these hits, which is not that big of an issue. Yeah. We're still looking pretty solid. He lost every chance in the world to actually finish me off, which is weird. I didn't suspect that. This is taking forever. Feels like it's taking forever. It could not. It could actually only be taking a couple of minutes. It looks like it's taking about 2 or 3 minutes. Is it game changing? Absolutely not. Is it viable come 6-star bronze or 6-star silver? Potentially. I think I am going to just take him up to 6-star silver regardless, just because of the board coverage and everything like that, and the arrow requirements. And I'm looking for a striker to kind of work up too, because I don't think I have very many that are just screaming out to me. Let's see real quick. Maybe, just maybe, I have a couple of Furies laying around. Not there, I don't. Here I do, but it's black. That ain't going to help me. Nope. None of that's going to help me. So what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to scrap a couple of our plates real quick, because I do have a little bit of a hoarding thing going on here. See if we can get it up to where I can actually switch out a majority of my plates here. Or metals. Got quite a bit, actually. I didn't think I had that many. Okay, cool. Fury 2 is open in here, and there is a purple. Let's go there. And then we'll go for one that is in use somewhere else. Take it off Captain Lou. We already did his project. We're done. Okay, so I do want to switch this out for higher percentage. Take it off the edge. Yep. Because I wouldn't be able to switch out for a Fury 2 anyway, so might as well just use what I have available. All right, so now we are looking at 88%. Let's see what this does. I'm hoping. Hopes and dreams, guys. Hopes and dreams. Honestly, I'm kind of looking at it as this is going to be very good at, or it's going to be good, not great, not game changing, but good come 6-star silver. But maybe his power gems are actually probably the meta that he needs to stick with his plate. Yeah, 2.9. We went up to 3, so that's good. If there's a little bit more blue gems on the board, we'd probably be standing a little bit better in life. But since there isn't, we're going to just use what we can use. We're going to do what we can do, which is hitting and increasing. Our turn-wise, I don't know, probably about 3-4 turns, roughly. We're going to get hit. Like, there's no question in my mind about that. Now we're at 2.7. It's still not moving mountains. So it's probably looking at about 6 or 7 mil at 6-star silver. So I think maybe his age has caught up to him a little bit. I do remember actually getting him and being elated that I have him, and I used him for quite a while. The power gem setup was pretty strong, which we're going to do that next, just to kind of see what we're kind of missing out on here, because it is possible to get it off turn one. That I do know that. The 7's really not that hard. You just double MP it a little bit, which is a majority of the cards nowadays. You do have double MP. So that did go a lot faster. He didn't get a chance to get all of his moves off like he did the last time. All right, so we're going to go back down here. We're going to switch out for the Tree of Woe, the Pile Driver, and the Mutated Double Arm. Now, I have seen people use the Mutated Mandible Claw with the Pile Driver, with the Mutated Double Arm DDT, and a Drip Plate, which really was rather interesting to see. I didn't let them go off nearly as much as they probably should have, but it was interesting to see nonetheless. So we'll go there. Really, do we honestly need Dom here? Not necessarily. This is more for educational purposes anyways. So we're just going to pump those up as high as we can get them. Now, if I had the many faces of Foley plate on here, that'd be increasing it. Let me see. It's on Triple H. I know that. So we're getting 6 more gems. Or no, we break 6 or more, make 5. So we get 5 more gems, so that's 15 in total. Those ones are going to be at 50%. However, 75 or 85% is increased off of it, plus 13K from our trainers. This is affected by trainers. So I think that's where the big difference comes in, is that is affected. So let's give this a shot, see what comes of it. I think this is going to be faster. Either way, I've now convinced myself to take him 6-star silver, just from the simple fact of viability. He is still viable. He still does the work. If the plate was on him, this would be looking a whole hell of a lot better. But since it's not, it's just how it is. Let's see what this damage looks like. Clearly, I probably should have put on the black Fury onto it just to make the finisher hit harder. But, oh well. Such is life. 1.9. So we had 1.9. We did just lose one. And all of this is okay because we're still sitting pretty. We're still doing damage. That's gotten taken down. I don't want to cover the blues, but if I got to cover a blue, might as well just be the solo. So we do have 7 on the board, but we want to hold on to at least one of the power gems. That'll still have us ready. We lost a lot there. That was a cascade and a half, but 2.8. Not bad, actually. Went a lot faster. It was still hitting about the same amount of damage. You know, I think the other one was probably a little bit more damage, but it's stacked. Many faces played on there probably is a lot better option. Either way, I am convinced to take Mankind to 6-star silver, just for craps and giggles and mainly for requirement purposes. Boss battle with power gems, obviously he's going to shine, especially if you have the belt on him, or have the plate on him. I'd put Mankind back in A tier. He's not S tier power level, at least. I don't look at the tiers as power levels. I look at the tiers as pull rates, because that's essentially what they are. Everybody can generally get Mankind now in Showdown Shop. So really, the S tier doesn't necessarily apply anymore, since you can grind out Showdown, hold on to all the coin, and get him at 5-star bronze. Is he worth taking up? That's kind of a tough question. The main reason why it's a tough question to answer is because it bases on your roster. So like me, I have Attitude Era coverage with Bradshaw. I have Legend area coverage with Rocky 76. Mankind will take over the Modern and Mutant requirements. So that's, you know, four areas of coverage at 6-star silver. Chaotic. Let's see what the Boss Breaker does. Boss Breaker is health or healer steal, so that's good. You know, stealing health. The neutralize doesn't ever apply here very often anymore. They did change it to remove one most recent buff stack, so I guess it does kind of play dividends. I wish it was a shield break, but times are changing. It's time I've seen play a role in some boss battles. I've seen it help out people get turn one done quickly, but that's very situational, and you need the heaviest of hitters for that. For tours, he'd be a lot faster. He's going to be a lot faster on tours because of the tour perks. For feuds, it's questionable. You can still run this. You just take off Taker, unfortunately, and put on a +2 blue MP. Still think he'll get the job done, but with the fact that the perks for feud have changed and power gems aren't affected anymore, I don't know. Maybe it's a little something different. These two coaches are going to stay the same, Alexa Bliss and Riddle. You can switch out Alexa Bliss for Hall of Fame Nikki if you don't have Bliss, which a majority of the people who are free to play don't. So you can switch that out for Nikki. I think he'll be viable later on down the line. I think at 6-star silver, he's going to be open up for two moves or move sets. This one and the one we looked at previous. The two-handed bulldog is horse hockey and doesn't help anybody at all, ever, especially at a 9 MP. If it was 1 MP, it would make a little bit more sense. You can take him in against, certain people. But you're going to lose a lot of your health in regards to that because you have to wait for them to have power gems. The mutated mandible claw, it is 4 turns. It is 165,000. It can be increased, and you are leaving behind strength gems. So it is possible to run, excuse me, it is possible to run triple black. I would switch out, I would just go Xavier and Nikki Cross, to be honest with you. Increase that submission damage to 32 or 320 or 330,000, 331 most likely for 4 turns. Not that it's a 1.2 mil, which isn't bad. Let's see here, just real quick. Let's go with move charge finder. There you go. 330,000. So ultimately, let's run it real quick against Sammy. I realize this is turning into a long video, and I apologize for that. But if I don't do these deep dives, then I'll never fully understand what I have in my roster. A lot of us, I get this question a lot. A lot of people send me screenshots of their rosters to go and say, hey, who do I need to work on next? Because they're questioning their own choices. And I'm the same way a lot of the times, is I go with what is the most talked about. And a lot of the times the most talked about is not the most viable for everybody. It's mainly for spenders. So that did relatively well. Cleared the board a little bit. We do have a green or 1 black, unfortunately, here. Hopefully we can stack up a little bit more. Go there, hit the finisher. We're going to hit every multiply gem and black after the black gems, leaning towards our colors as best as possible. So clearly the yellow is not going to be in our colors or worthwhile. It wasn't that big of a hit. Could have been a lot better. Yeah, now I'm starting to see the real problem with this. I think that is a really cool animation though. Like you can't be upset with that animation. So really all this comes down to is it just becomes a stacking thing. You have the control with the submission. If we put the drip plate on him, it could offer up a little bit more promise later on. But I'd really rather not use the drip plate. The main reason I don't want to use the drip plate is because of the fact it is no longer available. And I'd really rather not be sitting here trying to look like I'm flexing because I have 2 of them. Like, that's just kind of a shot in the dark or a shot in the mouth for a lot of people. We're doing a considerable amount of damage. I don't like the fact that there's barely any recycle. So I guess one thing that could be done is instead of doing the power gems, you wind up doing the finisher or the submission and the finisher instead. That'll allow for you to recycle with the blue, do a considerable amount of damage, and maintain constant control. Which, if you're a Magic player like I am, you like your control factors. I also like to be aggressive. But this one benefited us a lot more because there was a lot more black gems on the board. So it's going to knock him out. There's no way he's surviving this. Yeah. So there is multiple builds. There is multiple scenarios. With the fact that I know that there's 3 different builds for him now, that's actually viable, I will take him 6-star silver. There's really no reason not to. I think I'm missing out on some tokens. I think I'm missing out on all striker tokens. Yeah. 13 there. So I was essentially going to take Zombie Priest to 6-star. But I think I'm going to hold off on that. I think I'm going to do Mankind first to 6-star silver, get that coverage. Give me 4 across there, because that's all I'm working on right now is coverage. So you guys tell me what you think of Mankind in the comments. Let me know if you think I'm going to be making a mistake taking him 6-star silver, or if there's a different way to build him that I didn't do here, trainer-wise. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedbacks. I love hearing from you guys constantly. It's a world of difference in my brain. And for all of you who do know me, I have a really fucked up brain. Dealing with depression and stuff like that, it's kind of a bitch. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, like, share, subscribe. And I'm going to leave you the same way I always leave you. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. See you in the next video.